Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Trent Hayes. I recently got hired to play R&B guitar on someone's track. Today I'm going to take you in this session and show you exactly what I played on it. So what was interesting about this track is that it already came with a guitar recorded in it. That doesn't happen most of the time. Most of the time, I just do all of the guitar parts. So what I had to do is use some higher end versions and just kind of play around what was already given. So I'm just going to start off by showing you what he sent me. So that's the intro of the song, and it's just going from an F minor to a C sharp major 6, and then F minor to a C sharp major 7, and the C sharp major 6 and major 7 just kind of alternate every time around. So here are the guitar parts that I recorded for the intro. And we just kind of sit on that for a little bit. One of the first things you'll notice in the session is that we have 3 separate tracks. The track that you're hearing right now is the wet track, and it sounds like this. So all these tracks were recorded at exactly the same time, and I just kind of route them separately from my Kemper into my studio. The main reason that I like to track guitars this way is so that my client has different options. That way I can push reverbs and delays and choruses or whatever, and I don't have to worry about overdoing it, because if he doesn't like the effects I put on it, he can just use the included dry track that's exactly the same. The DI tracks are really meant for reamping purposes. So if they have something like amplitude or positive grid, they can just throw those tracks in and give it their own amp sound. The guitar tone I'm using has a lot of reverb. It's got some chorus and some tremolo just to kind of give it some vibe. I feel like those effects go a really long ways when it comes to songs in this genre, like that smooth kind of R&B sound or even pop. By itself, it definitely sounds pretty wet, but I think it sits really well in the mix. So out of the intro, we go back into this pre-chorus kind of thing that comes back several times throughout the song. And here's where his recorded guitars actually come in. I'll just play the track and show you what we got. So what I had to do was play around that, and what I did was just use some higher inversions just to kind of fill it out and make it feel a little bigger. Pretty basic, nothing crazy. From there, we go into the verse. One thing you'll notice about that verse is that around halfway through it, I kind of switched up my progression. The reason I did that is because I like to give my clients variety. When you're in the studio, it's really easy to chop up guitar parts or anything you really record into like a measure or 2 measures and just loop that. So once I have a section that I know is loopable, instead of just repeating that same thing, I'll just start playing different parts. So if he likes the first version I did it, all he has to do is just copy and paste that throughout. That's a very common thing I do, and most producers really appreciate that. And so out of that verse, we go back into the pre-chorus. Real quick, I'll show you the chords that I'm actually using for that verse. So we're on the A flat major 7, going down to the 7. So this is a G7 sharp 9. And then we go to a C minor 9, to a B flat minor 9, and then we go to an E flat major. When I hit that E flat major, what I do is I just slide into it. I leave out the root up top. So we're just getting this. So out of this pre-chorus, we're going into a turnaround, and I did a few different things on this as well. Generally, when I'm recording rhythm guitar, I'll overlay a couple different guitar parts. So that's why I gave him lots of different ideas. A lot of times, I'll have like layers of guitar tracks, and sometimes, you know, they'll cut certain ones out or use them all. Like, it just kind of depends on what they're going for. One of the things I like to do when recording is just give more than what's needed, especially when I'm not in the room with the producer, because it's really easy for them to just delete stuff out or mute it if it's too much. But it's always good to have lots of options to pull from. So after that turnaround, we're back into that pre-chorus section. And for this time around, I actually just copied the pre-chorus and just pasted it on here at the end, as you can see. And I just came in and added the last chord. If y'all enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it.